Yes, boys, we've got some unreal picks for this weekend. If you're betting this weekend, we've got the bankers, we've got the long shots, and we've got some unbelievable data here that's going to make you rethink your bets for this weekend. Stay tuned.
And someone's getting pegged.
Someone's getting pegged.
And throw the arm in. So it is the end of the Premier League season, but Game Week 38 still has some great tips for us. Not great tips.
Some great set of tips for this weekend.
I love a great big set of tips. I've got some of the best bets for this weekend. So I'm going to throw it over to you guys. Sam, do you want to start us off with what are the top picks for Premier League Game Week 38?
Yeah, I think it's easy to make your picks for this weekend, or it's easy to narrow it down to the games, and that is because a lot of these are dead rubbers. A lot of the teams are playing for nothing. My favorite type of game in these scenarios is where you've got one team playing for something and the other team not playing for anything, because usually they only go one way. The banker for me is Newcastle to win. They've won the last 6 home games in a row. They're flying at St. James's Park, finishing the season strongly. Now, the odds on it are not going to be the best in the world. I was looking, and at the time of recording, they're 2-5 instead of about 2.5-5. So it's not too bad. I'm still backing them at that price. They're still playing for the Champions League. Everton have got nothing to play for. They're on the beach already. They were riding out some luck with Moyes, as it was a draw here or there. I fancy Newcastle to blow them away, to be honest, but I'm just going to back Newcastle to win outright. And then I'm going to go over to the Forest game to chuck in Elliot Anderson to commit 1.5 or more fouls. That is because Forest against Chelsea, I feel like it's going to be a frustrating game for both teams. Like, Chelsea very capable of dulling a game down, especially under Maresca, sucking the life out of it. And I feel like the Forest are going to be frustrated. They've dropped out of the Champions League. I think they're starting to be a bit of tension around the club. The owners on the pitch kicking off. I feel like there's just a bit of underlying tension. I feel like the players will feel that. Elliot Anderson is already starting to feel that. His last 5 games, he's done 3 fouls, 2 fouls, 2 fouls, 3 fouls, and 2 fouls. So for this one, I'm backing him to make 1 or more. Interestingly, Chelsea's midfield, which consists of Caicedo and Cole Palmer, they're the 8th and 10th most fouled players in the Premier League this season, which is weird because Caicedo's a serial fouler himself. Elliot Anderson sits in between them in 9th as the most fouled player. So the foulers, a lot of them on that list, Morgan Rogers, Bruno Guimaraes is the most fouled player. He also commits a lot of fouls. I think it's because they're dueling a lot of the time.
Yeah.
So a lot of the most fouled players are also doing a lot of fouls. So I'm backing Elliot Anderson against that midfield to make a few fouls. If you're interested in a Caicedo foul, as per usual, it's also a good game to do it in. So for me, though, Newcastle win, Elliot Anderson over 1.5 fouls. Nice little banker coming in at 0.6 to 1.
Oh, God. Jesus Christ.
No, sorry. No, sorry. No, sorry. It wasn't actually. Not financial advice.
Yeah.
And you're going to get that 1.5 to 1. It's double your dough, baby.
Yeah, I like it because I think Chelsea will have all the ball and Forest will be trying to hit them on the break. I had Elliot Anderson on my slip as well to commit a foul. I don't know if this is worth considering, but I think this will be the cagiest game of all of them. Obviously, like you mentioned, both teams fighting for the same thing, which would be Champions League football. So I think both teams will try and keep it tight. So no temptation to go with under 4 in this one.
Let's see what the odds are. You two have a guess. What do you think the odds are for under 4 in a game that involves these two teams where Forest have got terrible XG generated, and Chelsea have got good XG conceded. So I feel like this could be quite a
and
dull
Chelsea
game.
have really struggled for goals in the last sort of 10 game weeks, haven't they? I'd say that 1.2 or 1.3.
I'm putting it on.
What is it?
1 to 2.
Decent, that, yeah.
0.5 or 1.5.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Decimal boys.
Yeah, well, I had Chelsea. My picks for this one were Elliot Anderson foul, under 4 goals in the game, and no goals in the first half. Because I think both teams will be trying to keep it tight. Forest will be sat right deep behind the ball. We know Chelsea have struggled to break down low blocks. No Nick Jackson. So I think this game will be decided by 1 goal, and I think both teams will just want to still be in the game by half time. I think both managers, if you said to them 0-0 at half time, they'd take it at this stage. So I really liked 0-0 half time. Under 4 goals, Elliot Anderson foul, and that was coming in at 4 to 1.
It is going to be nice and tight, and that is a great pair of tips. So, Jason, what are you picks for this one?
So, with this Forest-Chelsea game, first of all, Moses Caicedo, Elliot Anderson as well, 100% agree on that. And then also the team's average over 10 corners per match. So I'm also adding over 9.5 corners. Finally, there's only been 2 clean sheets in the last 10 games between these two sides. So they're not very good at keeping the ball out of the back of their nets. So with the numbers game data showing the prediction that both teams are likely to score at 58%, I'm actually going with over 1.5 goals to be scored in this match. It's going a little bit different to what you guys are going with, but also I'm going with the data. I'm going with the numbers game data, and I think that prediction will probably be spot on. Neither side is going to keep a clean sheet in this one. There's going to be a lot of desperation, a lot of tired legs in the defence of both sides.
I like it, Jason.
I've gone low risk, but almost guaranteed reward. I think that's the kind of play style that I'm looking for this weekend.
So yours is kind of financial advice, Jason.
Don't say that. Do not say that.
It's not making the edit.
Yeah, but let's kind of carry on to the next game of the weekend that we wanted to focus on. And we're going with the big picks here. We're going with almost guaranteed payouts here because we don't like to risk too much here. We just want that reward. What is the next one that we want to talk about?
So the game that I wanted to highlight was Liverpool against Crystal Palace. Every season in game week 38, the final match of the season, there's always a game that goes off a 4-2, a 4-3, a 4-all, something like that. In fact, across every game on the final game week of the season, there's on average 20% more goals across the board. So I'm trying to pick the game that explodes here, and I think it will be Liverpool against Palace. Both teams have had successful seasons. Both teams have won big trophies. And there's a lot of narrative here, right? So Mo Salah is 1 goal or assist away from equaling the all-time Premier League goals and assist record. He's 2 assists away from breaking the all-time Premier League assist record. Arne Slot said before the press conference with Brighton that isn't Liverpool that we've become accustomed to because he'd spent the previous week in Ibiza or Dubai, but they've been training for 5 days this week. So I expect him to go almost full strength. I think Alexis McAllister will miss out. He's already confirmed that. But I think we'll see a full strength team aside from that, him and Trent Alexander-Arnold. So Crystal Palace, they'll probably still celebrating. They've got the highest ever points total. They won the FA Cup. They'll turn up and just try and slug it out with Liverpool. So I expect this one to be a big boy match. I'm expecting Mo Salah to get his goal contribution. I've gone with Liverpool to win over 2 goals in the game. I've gone with Salah to get an assist. If you've watched Mo Salah recently, he's been trying to get assists more than goals. In fact, the last time he played at Anfield, he didn't have a shot for the first time in his Liverpool career. But he has been passing when he needs to shoot. He's desperate to get assists. And the man who he'll be assisting will
Darwin
be
Núñez.
will be Lucho Diaz. So I've got Salah to assist, Diaz shot on target, Liverpool to win, over 2 goals in the game. This comes in over 3-1. It's about 3.5 to 1.
You're going to say it's about 18 to 1.
Nah, what? Salah assist, Liverpool to win.
There's just a lot of legs to it. It's come down football, good football, because they've come back from Ibiza. One lad I played with came straight from Warehouse Projects, and he put in a great performance.
So maybe with the hangover heads of the Liverpool team, do they keep a clean sheet against Crystal Palace?
Not a chance.
No. I don't think Liverpool will be hungover on this occasion, but I think we've seen now that when the concentration goes in Liverpool, the defence goes, but the attack remains. So I think both teams will score. Palace's attack's firing at the moment. I mean, Eze looks like
He scored 6 in his last 5, or was that before the final? Could have been before the final. It might be 7 and 6.
He came
now.
on for 5 minutes last night, didn't he? And he scored against Wolves.
Oh my God! So it's at least right. So he scored 7 goals in his last 6 games.
Yeah, he's on unbelievable form. I quite fancy him. Ismail Assar scored at Anfield a couple of times before from his days at Watford. Do you remember when Watford beat Liverpool?
Yeah.
So
yes, yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if this ended a 4-2, 3-2, something like that, I think.
So it's you're pegged as the exciting game.
That was ridiculous.
So Ollie, you pegged that as your big pick of the weekend for lots of goals.
Yeah, it's been pegged, my big pick.
So that is our picks for game week 38. Please do check out the Numbers Game website. As I said, there's some great data on there, and it's free for the Premier League. But make sure to subscribe to the channel because we're going to be talking all about the Club World Cup through the summer, and then transfers, tactical talks, and data insights as well. There's so much content to do.